Nissan has unveiled a part exchange offer to compete with the scrappage schemes on offer from numerous other car manufacturers. Unlike many of the other schemes recently announced, the Nissan offer is an additional allowance over and above the part exchange valuation of your car. The part exchange vehicles will not be scrapped unless it is the most economically viable option. Nissan is offering up to £2,000 part exchange allowance on selected new cars, in addition to any other dealer manufacturer or finance company offers. The offer only applies to certain grades of Nissan Micra, Juke, Qashqai and X-Trail models. Nissan has gone a step beyond other manufacturers, however, and has a specific offer for approved used Leaf models, despite new Leaf models not being included in the program. An additional £1,000 part exchange allowance is available for used Leafs, and is also supported by a low-rate PCP finance offer. Nissan's offer is only valid for this month, which means you need to order and take delivery of your vehicle by September 30th. Most other brands' offers are running until the end of this year. The car expert checks the fine print. This offer is an allowance over and above your car's part exchange value, for selected used cars part exchanged against selected new cars. Your current car can be from any brand, but the first registration date, shown on your V5C registration logbook, must be no later than December 31, 2009. You must be the owner of the part exchange vehicle and the buyer of the new car, same name and registered address. You must have owned the old car for at least 90 days, to stop people buying an old banger for £200 and then getting a £2,000 part exchange allowance for it. You must order your new car and take delivery by September 30, 2017. This offer can be used on top of most other offers from the dealer manufacturer finance company. The offer is not dependent on you taking any finance package or other products.
The Nissan Switch scheme, launched today, gives additional support to owners of cars and LCVs with pre-Euro V engines, to help them replace their vehicle with a zero-emission, 100% electric Leaf, or one of Nissan's efficient range of new passenger cars. From 1st to September 30th, drivers of eligible vehicles registered before the end of 2009 with a pre-Euro V engine can trade in the car or LCV at participating Nissan dealerships to receive up to £5,000, plus trade-in value for their current car, off a new Nissan model. Or they can receive up to £2,000 plus vehicle trade-in value off an approved used Nissan Leaf 24 kWh. Thanks to the Switch scheme, Nissan Leaf ownership has never been more accessible. Payments on a 3-year 3.9% APR PCP can be lower than £100 a month for a used Leaf 24 kWh with trade-in value and Nissan Switch scheme contribution. A free home charging unit worth £279 is also provided in the offer. The Nissan Leaf 24 kWh delivers a driving range of up to 124 miles, NEDC, with running costs from just £2 a mile. Other benefits to owning an all-electric vehicle include £0 annual VED, lower maintenance costs compared to combustion engine vehicles, and London congestion charge exemption. For somebody living outside the congestion zone but driving into it 5 days a week, each week of the year, this could mean an annual saving of over £2,500. Since 2010, Nissan has pioneered and led the charge for widespread electric vehicle adoption. As we ready to unveil the all-new Nissan Leaf, a car that will convert many more thousands of motorists to all-electric driving, we're launching a new campaign to encourage drivers of older vehicles to make the switch to cleaner electric power. Commented Alex Smith, Managing Director of Nissan Motor, GB, Limited. Nissan's campaign isn't just about new cars. We're including our latest efficient conventionally powered models, but uniquely we're delivering an attractive trade-in offer on our stock of approved used all-electric Leafs. Demand for electric vehicles has risen significantly in the last few years as more people realize the practical benefits of running an EV. Figures from the SMMT show the alternative fuel vehicle (AFV) segment was up 65% in July 2017 versus July 2016, commanding a record 5.5% market share in the month. In 2017, around 1 in 2 EVs sold in the UK has been a Nissan, with the Nissan Leaf the UK's best-selling all-electric vehicle. Nissan established itself as a pioneer in the EV movement by launching the Leaf in 2010, the world's first mass-market electric vehicle. On September 6, Nissan is unveiling the all-new Nissan Leaf, an icon of Nissan intelligent mobility. The Nissan Switch scheme will run from September 1 to September 30, 2017. Retail customers only. Offer available to UK, excluding Channel Islands and Isle of Man, residents only. At participating dealers and subject to availability. For full terms and conditions and to check car eligibility for trade-in, visit www.nissan.co.uk or contact a local Nissan dealer.
The scrappage schemes by Renault and Kia run from now until the end of the year, and the Nissan offering is only available this month, September 2017. However, qualifying trade-in cars must still be registered on December 31, 2009 or earlier. But it's not just the Leaf attracting an incentive, with discounts of up to £5,000 available across Nissan's range, and even a £2,000 incentive for grabbing a used 24 kWh Leaf. Renault will give owners of pre-2010 cars £2,000 towards a new vehicle if they scrap their old one. Rival firm Ford has also recently announced a similar scheme giving drivers up to £2,000 to switch to newer diesel or petrol models, in a move it said was motivated by increasing public concern over poor air quality. Customers can access Renault's offers of either 4.9% APR PCP or 0% APR hire purchase along with 2 years free servicing on cars or 0% APR hire purchase with 4 years free servicing on vans. If the buyer has an old auto that's worth £2,500, it sees the monthly cost of moving to a 2014 vintage Leaf Alcenta plummet to just £87. A unique offer Nissan GBMD Alex Smith says will help drivers of older vehicles make the switch to cleaner electric power. An important distinction between the Switch scheme and other current trade-in programs is that Nissan's is not a scrappage scheme. This offer, it says, will lower the prohibitive cost barrier into a fully electric auto. The UK's highest-selling electric vehicle, the Leaf, delivers a driving range of up to 124 miles on a single charge with running costs estimated at around 2p per mile.
Nissan's sacked Australian chief says the Japanese brand will continue without a mainstream passenger model for at least 18 months, during which time it will continue to rely on SUVs, light commercials and sports cars. Although there are upgrades coming for the Navara Ute and Patrol SUV this year, and the Qashqai crossover in early 2018, Nissan Australia's next new model will be the second-generation Leaf EV, which will be revealed next week in Japan but remains a year away from local showrooms. The only passenger models currently sold by the Japanese car maker Down Under are the two-door 370Z and GTR sports cars and, apart from the new Leaf, that won't change until at least mid-2019, when at least one new small car could replace the discontinued Micra and Pulsar. Speaking to motoring.com.au at the 370Z NISMO launch on Tuesday, the day before his shock departure from the company, Nissan Australia Managing Director Richard Emery said potential new small cars include Europe's latest Micra and Pulsar, Japan's Note, South America's Kicks crossover and North America's Sentra, Pulsar sedan. They're the 5 cars that are in scope if you want to call it that. But you can't have 5 small cars and we don't want all of them, but we'd like some of them, he said. Getting the right mix of cars that suit our marketplace, that fit the specification, customer expectation, pricing, styling, options and getting the mix right between those 5 cars. Whether there's 2 or 3 of them, that's the work that is ongoing. At this point in time it's not determined which of those cars would work in Australia, and there won't be any more information before the end of next year. Hopefully it's within the next 18 months as to which ones will fit. Emery, who will be replaced by sister brand Infinity's Canadian boss Stephen Lester next week, said at least one of those models will be sold here, but not at the expense of profitability or just to fill showrooms. Clearly from all those options we'll be able to find a solution, but I am not going to make a decision based on we must have more volume or we must have more cars, he said. It needs to work for everybody, the investment required, the price and specifications, the customer demand. There's no point bringing in cars customers don't want. Having made tough decisions to axe uncompetitive, unprofitable and slow-selling models including the Micra, Pulsar, Murano and Altima, Emery said he was in no hurry to re-enter price-sensitive or declining sales segments such as mid-size sedans. I think it would be a hard sell to look at mid-sized cars again because the segment continues to decline, he said. There are a couple of cars in the portfolio, new Altima and Maxima, but they're both currently left-hand drive and I'm not sure the market can sustain that, but we'll watch that segment carefully. If that segment settles down, it's done its readjustment and it starts to look sustainable, then it might be an option, but at this point in time I'm not convinced. In its absence from key markets including the light, small, medium and large car segments, Nissan Australia's sales have continued to fall, by 12.3% in July this year, despite booming Qashqai and X-Trail sales. At the same time, Nissan's local market share has slumped to 4.4% so far this year, and August VFACTS figures due out next week are expected to show it has dropped to 10th overall behind Toyota, Mazda, Hyundai, Holden, Mitsubishi, Ford, Volkswagen, Subaru and Kia, following a 27% sales slump last month. Nissan will not comment on the reason for Emery's sudden departure, saying only that the appointment of Lester, who will report to the head of Nissan sales and marketing in the Asia and Oceania region Vincent Wynan, is part of the brand's next direction. Stephen Lester's arrival at Nissan Australia coincides with our plans for the brand's next direction, and he brings to our Australian team strong experience, knowledge and business building skills, said Yutaka Sanada, Regional Senior Vice President and Head of Nissan in the Asia and Oceania region. He takes the reins from Richard Emery, who has successfully guided our Australian operation with steady leadership and business improvements since 2014, said the Nissan statement. Given his company's access to lackluster passenger cars and its inability to source better models competitively from Europe and the US in the past, some industry pundits say Emery has been made a scapegoat for poor decisions at regional and global management level within Nissan. When Renault-Nissan Alliance boss Carlos Ghosn visited Australia in early June, he said Nissan and its new sister brand Mitsubishi could do much better in my opinion. I have a hard time understanding why Nissan cannot hold more than 6% market share in Australia, he said at the time. Later that month Mitsubishi announced that its Australia CEO Matsuhiro Ashikiri would be replaced on July 1 by the company's local Deputy Marketing Director John Signoriello, and that Ashikiri would replace Mitsubishi Philippines CEO Yoshiaki Kato, who will work alongside Signoriello in Australia. While it's not yet clear what Lester's plans for Nissan Australia are, Emery departs the Renault-Nissan business after 3.5 years as local Nissan chief, following other senior positions at Mitsubishi, Audi, Land Rover and Mercedes-Benz.